Hi, IndyCar family. I'm IndyCar Dad, your host for IndyCar News in 5 minutes. I read and watch everything IndyCar for the past week and summarize it for you in 5 minutes. This is the Portland race recap. Portland was a little bit of a boring race, to be honest with you. It's not my favorite of the year or any season, really. I find that the track doesn't allow enough passing, and while in the past there used to be a big frenzy going into turn one at different points in the race, especially restarts and the start, that doesn't seem to happen anymore. The drivers are much more civilized, and everybody got through turn one unscathed. In my last podcast, I told you about some of the drivers that I thought might have interesting races. I usually don't say who's going to win or lose, just tell you like this driver is interesting to watch because he has a high average finish here or a very low average finish here. I think I did pretty well with the predictions too. I highlighted Palou, Rosenqvist, Rossi, Power, Dixon, Grosjean. So Palou won the race, Rosenqvist second. Rossi, I was a miss for me. I thought he'd do well because he has good past performances here, but in the race it was no good at all. Will Power did really well. He finished on the podium, and Scott Dixon didn't really do that well either. In fact, Scott Dixon's not really having a great season. So I mentioned Grosjean because he had the worst average finish of any driver I've seen all season. Just absolutely terrible. And he didn't make it any worse. He would have had to really finish last to do so. But he pulled up to 17th. So that is actually a big improvement to his number, but not a very good finish. So, as for more silly season stuff, I imagine Chip Ganassi is finding himself in quite a pickle. Renus VK just drove a Junkos car, which has not normally been a good car, to a fourth place finish, and he was fast all weekend long in every session. He's now 10th in points in a Junkos, which would be that team's greatest performance ever. The fact that he's been in the top five 3 out of the last 5 races is the team's greatest results. So Renus VK is once again proving he deserves a top ride. Christian Lundgaard was the top McLaren, but McLaren was terrible all weekend long. Lundgaard finished 9th. So who does Chip choose here? I don't know. I have an opinion. If it was me, I'd choose Renus VK. But that's because I like him. So anyway, top 10 from Portland. Palou, Rosenqvist, Power was your podium. VK was 4th. Kyle Kirkwood, 5th. Marcus Ericsson, Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden, Christian Lundgaard, and Kiffin Simpson round out the top 10. So not a great weekend for Penske either, with 7th, 8th positions, and then I believe Malukas was like in 12th, maybe. Anyway, top rookie was Dennis Hauger in 13th. He's still leading the Rookie of the Year. Let's do winners and losers. Alex Palou obviously is a winner. It's just a fantastic weekend for him. Felix Rosenqvist is a winner. He won the pole. He ran a great race. He got beat on an overcut. It wasn't even interesting or dramatic. And he's now in 6th place in the championship. So a fine drive by Felix. Will Power, he proved that he's really still got it, and he's helping the Andretti team. Their cars were not fast from the jump, and Will worked on that car every session. It got better and better and better, and by race day, he had it pretty good. So he ended up on the podium against 2 drivers that had just tested. Ganassi and MSR had just tested at Portland. So that's hard to beat, but Will Power did a great job. And Renus VK is a winner. He was fast all weekend in the Junkos car, and everybody keeps saying it, and I'll agree. We really need to see what that guy can do in a good car. As far as losers, you have winners, you're going to have losers. Marcus Armstrong had a tough weekend. He was actually fastest in one of the practice sessions, but he qualified really poorly. I'm not sure why, just didn't have the speed, especially considering his teammate was on pole. Then during the race, his engine blew up. He's the only driver not finishing at the end, so not good, last place. Losers include ECR, Ed Carpenter Racing, it's horrible. Christian Rasmussen went 24th, and Alexander Rossi was 19th. Normally Rossi's good here, but so 19th. Graham Rahal had a horrible weekend. AJ Foyt Enterprises had a horrible weekend. Kyle Collette and Santino Ferrucci were 20th and 21st. So some people really stunked up the place in Portland. They say all the cars were close, but when it came to race day, some of the cars were not close, and it really showed. Yeah, some of these teams just have some homework to do. So what's next? Markham is this weekend. It used to be Toronto, but they moved it to a suburb of Toronto. And look for a race preview from me where I tell you which drivers might have an interesting race at the end of the week. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Indycar Dad. You'll find me on TikTok, Instagram, and all the podcast networks. Thanks for following.